Hello everyone, this is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and we're going to sew our signatures into our little golden book. My first counting book. What I've done is I have my storybook and some Kool-Aid dyed pages plus some other papers. So I have 15 total pages in this signature, and they are a variety, and I have them in the order that I'd like them to be. And here is my center. So what we're going to do first is to make sure they're all lined up, and I like to clip it. I use my ruler to help me bring all the centers. It gives me more leverage so that they get in there nice and packed. Then I hold on to it. I grab a clip. The other side, we're going to clip it as well. There we go. And you can clip it on both sides, but I find it is good enough just to clip it on the one side. And then I've made myself a template, and how I do that is I cut a piece of graph paper the width of my spine and the length of my pages. I've folded it in the center. I marked down 3/4 of an inch. I found the center of my graph paper, and then I've also made another line 3/8 of an inch over and over, and we're going to use a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and so I have my dots where my punch is going to go. And so that they get lined up nice, I like to fold it in half and make a punch on my dot right through the center. Now I can't get it apart. There we go. And in here as well. There's going to be 2 signatures, but I have 3 lines because I use the middle one to poke the holes in the signatures. So what I want to do is fold this in half lengthwise, and I'm going to put that right in my book. Keep it folded. It doesn't matter if it's this way or this way because we've got our holes, and that's what we're going to go by. So we're making sure that it is in the center of the fold, and it's even top and bottom. Then take our pokey tool, fold the page over towards you, and poke. Again. And the final one. I find it easier to hold it. I know some people use a telephone book or something, but I have more control if I hold it. So here I have one signature ready to go. Leave the clips in it, and we're going to go ahead and do this next one. I've already made sure my pages are in the order I want, and now we're going to clip it. I have my ruler to help me hold it down. and put our template in. It's lined up. Poke a hole. Poke a hole. Last one. Okay, now I'm going to put that aside, and we're going to poke holes in the cover. And here we need the template to lay flat, and this time we're going to use the two outside ones. For in the fold of the signature, we use that center one. If we had a three signature, we would do all three. But this is a two, so we're just going to do the one on each side of the center. And I'm lining up my template with my spine. I'm clipping it so that it holds. Double checking. Use your fingers for your eyes. We want it as perfect as we can get it. Yes, it's a junk journal, but we don't want it to be crazy off center so that it drives you crazy. Okay, now let's go ahead and poke. I hold it like this so I don't stab my fingers. See? Punch right through. We'll do it again. Right through. And the second one in the center, and now the end. Last hole. We can unclip this. We don't need this anymore. Put it aside. And I've already cut my crochet cotton, and the length that I use is 3 times the cover. There. So I have plenty. You don't need that much, but I like to err on the side of caution so that I don't run short and have to start over. Put the second signature off to the side. I'm going to work with the first one first. Cover, make sure that I'm not upside down. And poke my needle through the center hole, and then I'm going to go find the center hole in my book and pop it right through. I leave some string hanging so it's not too tight, and let's put some buttons on it. I've already chosen some, so here, let's put a purple one on, and I just thread the button if I can hang on to it. And let's go ahead and thread the green one. Okay, poke. My fingers can feel where the holes are. And sometimes this is easy, and sometimes it's not. There. Oh, good. Came right through. Got lucky. And there's our buttons. I like to keep them kind of in the center so that I have room to pull my strings. Now I'm going to bring the thread down the center hole. I pull this string down so it's not in the way, poke it through the hole. We want to make sure that we don't stab the other thread. We don't want to pierce it. I'm trying to manipulate it a little bit so I have more string on my needle. That's better. Move my buttons again. Now I'm going to thread some more buttons on my needle. And they're just in a random order. I didn't put very much thought into what buttons should go where. And we poking a hole right in, threading it through the hole. So this is what it looks like so far. Okay, now we need to cross these threads, and what I like to do is bring it underneath the other one, pull it taut, hold on to it, check for tautness on the outside. Get rid of the needle so I don't stab myself. And tie one more time. And now we can unclip. And here we have one signature sewn in. And it's not even upside down. Awesome! We need some more thread. So we're going to do 3 times again. I hope I'm in frame. I apologize if I'm not. Okay, when I clip my crochet cotton, I like to squeeze it really hard and then just put it up to the eye of the needle and just push it through, and it's easier to thread. And then we need our last signature. The needle goes right in the middle. And find the hole in the book. And we're going to thread some more buttons on. Find the bottom hole. And find the hole in the signature. I'm sure there's a lot more fancy technical ways to do this, but do what works for you. All that matters is the end result, right? So now we're going to go down that center hole again, making sure that the thread is out of our way. If the buttons get too close to the hole, it acts as a plug or a stopper, so you can't pull it. So I'm going to move that down, put the needle in above that other thread and down into the hole without stabbing that other thread. See? I hope you can see. Pull. Let's thread some more buttons on. Oh, let's not do orange. Let's do yellow. Now let's do orange. Have that big one at the top. There. Got some pretty heavy jewelry, don't we? Find that top hole. Poke right through. And into the signature. Can't see it. There we go. Just kind of shakes it a little bit, gets it all lined up. And there's my buttons. Got my thread. Bring that needle underneath that line of stitching again. I'm going to check for tautness. This one seems a little sloppy. Let's see what we can do to tighten that up. Get rid of the needle. Tie and tie. And you could have put an envelope in the center. I usually do, but this time I wanted to have the full picture and the full song. So I chose not to have an envelope here. We'll add our envelopes in pockets. And now you can play with your buttons and place them wherever you'd like. Isn't that cute? Love the color. And now we can punch out circles or hearts or butterflies or beads. I tend to use a flat punch with paper rather than something with dimension like a bead, because that would make our journal even thicker and it would wear on the paper. So we can just trim that a little bit. Don't need the extra. And then now what we're going to do is come back and put some embellishments, pockets, tags, all kinds of goodies into our book. Thank you for watching.